Think about the last time you felt truly calm, not distracted by your phone, not planning the next thing on your list, just present. If you're struggling to remember, you're not alone. Here's something that might surprise you. The average person checks their phone over 150 times per day, according to research from psychologist Larry Rosen at California State University. That's once every 6 minutes during waking hours. But here's what's really happening beneath the surface. Each interruption doesn't just steal a moment. It fragments your attention in ways that can take up to 23 minutes to fully recover from, according to research by Gloria Mark at the University of California, Irvine. We're living in a world that's engineered for speed, but our brains, they evolved for something completely different. The tension between modern life and human psychology isn't just anecdotal. Neuroscientist Amishi Jha at the University of Miami has spent years studying attention and mindfulness. Her research shows that our attention systems are under unprecedented strain. The constant task switching and information overload we experience daily actually changes how our brains function. Philosopher and psychologist William James wrote in 1890 that the faculty of voluntarily bringing back a wandering attention is the very root of judgment, character, and will. He understood something crucial. Our ability to direct our attention determines the quality of our entire experience. More recently, psychologist Ellen Langer at Harvard has studied what she calls mindful awareness for over 4 decades. Her research demonstrates that the simple act of noticing new things, of being present to our experience, has measurable effects on health, longevity, and well-being. These aren't just abstract ideas. They're pointing to something fundamental about how we can navigate modern life without losing ourselves in the process. And that's exactly what we're going to explore together today. First, we'll uncover the 4 hidden ways modern life fragments your attention and why it feels impossible to stay present. Then we'll dig into the surprising evolutionary and technological reasons your brain is working against you. But most importantly, we'll walk through 6 practical strategies you can start using today. Not theory, not wishful thinking, but actual techniques backed by neuroscience that work in real life with real demands, without requiring you to quit your job or move to the mountains. By the end, you'll have a clear roadmap for reclaiming your attention and experiencing genuine calm, even when everything around you is moving fast. So let's start by understanding exactly what's happening to your attention right now. So what's actually happening when we feel overwhelmed by the pace of modern life? Let's break this down into 4 core challenges. First, there's the attention fragmentation problem. Your brain isn't designed to process the sheer volume of information we encounter daily. Every notification, every email, every news alert triggers a small stress response. Your nervous system treats these interruptions as potential threats that need evaluation. Over time, this creates a baseline state of vigilance that feels normal, but is actually exhausting. Second, we're experiencing what researchers call time famine. Despite all our productivity tools and time-saving technology, most people report feeling more rushed than ever. The paradox is real. The faster our tools get, the faster we feel we need to move. This creates a chronic sense of urgency that keeps your body in a low-grade stress state. Third, there's the depth versus breadth problem. Modern life rewards breadth, knowing a little about everything, keeping up with multiple conversations, managing several projects simultaneously. But depth, the kind of sustained attention that allows for real understanding and connection, requires something different. It requires the willingness to be fully present with one thing, and that's becoming increasingly rare. Finally, there's what we might call the presence deficit. When was the last time you did just one thing? Not watching TV while scrolling your phone? Not listening to a podcast while cooking? Just one thing, fully experienced. Most people can't remember. And this matters more than you might think, because presence isn't just a pleasant state. It's foundational to well-being. The consequences show up everywhere. In relationships where we're physically present but mentally elsewhere. In work where we're busy but not productive. In the persistent feeling that life is happening to us rather than being lived by us. But why is this happening now? What's actually driving this crisis of attention and presence? At the evolutionary level, we're experiencing a profound mismatch. Your brain's threat detection system evolved over millions of years in environments where dangers were immediate and physical. A rustling in the bushes. A sudden movement? Your ancestors survived because their brains got really good at rapid threat assessment. Fast forward to today. That same system is being triggered constantly by things that aren't actual threats. An email from your boss, a notification, a news headline. Your amygdala, the brain's alarm center, doesn't distinguish between a genuine emergency and a work deadline. It responds with the same neurochemical cascade: cortisol, adrenaline, the whole stress response package. Here's where it gets interesting. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman's research on decision-making reveals that we have two thinking systems. System 1 is fast, automatic, and emotional. System 2 is slow, deliberate, and logical. Modern life pushes us almost entirely into System 1. We're constantly reacting rather than responding. And this shallow processing mode becomes habitual. Philosopher Martin Heidegger wrote extensively about what he called falling. This tendency to get absorbed in the busyness of daily life and lose touch with authentic existence. He wasn't being judgmental. He was observing something fundamental about human nature. We naturally drift toward distraction unless we actively cultivate presence. The technological dimension amplifies all of this. Social media platforms are literally designed to capture and hold your attention. Former Google design ethicist Tristan Harris has documented how tech companies employ teams of engineers specifically to make their products more addictive. Variable reward schedules, infinite scroll, autoplay. These aren't accidents. They're deliberate design choices based on behavioral psychology. But here's the crucial insight. The problem isn't technology itself. It's that we're using powerful attention-manipulating tools without understanding how they affect us. It's like giving someone a sports car without teaching them to drive. The root cause is simple, but profound. We're living at a pace and with a level of stimulation that our nervous systems weren't designed to handle. And we've normalized this as just how life is, without questioning whether it has to be this way. So how do we actually cultivate calm and mindfulness in this environment? Not by retreating to a monastery, not by abandoning technology, but by developing specific, practical skills that work in real life. First, practice attentional hygiene. Just like you have dental hygiene habits, you need attention hygiene habits. Start with what researcher Cal Newport calls attention residue management. When you switch tasks, your attention doesn't immediately follow. Part of your mind is still processing the previous task. To counteract this, build transition rituals. Take 3 conscious breaths between activities. Look out a window for 30 seconds. The specific ritual matters less than creating a clear boundary. Implement what psychologist Adam Gazzaley calls closed-loop processing. When you receive information, actually process it to completion before taking in more. Read an email and respond or file it. Don't read it and leave it hanging. Listen to a voicemail and handle it. Each open loop creates background cognitive load. Closing loops frees up mental resources. Second, build islands of single tasking into your day. Neuroscientist Earl Miller at MIT has shown definitively that multitasking is a myth. What we call multitasking is actually rapid task switching, and it comes with significant cognitive costs. His research shows we make more errors, take longer, and experience more stress when we attempt to do multiple things simultaneously. Start small. Pick one daily activity and commit to doing it with full attention. Maybe it's your morning coffee. Maybe it's the first 20 minutes of work. Maybe it's the commute home. During this time, resist all urges to multiply your attention. Just do the one thing. Notice what it feels like. Notice the quality of the experience. This isn't about productivity. It's about retraining your nervous system to tolerate and eventually prefer sustained attention. Like building a muscle, it takes consistent practice. Third, create strategic disconnection. Research by psychologist Sherry Turkle at MIT shows that even the mere presence of a phone on a table reduces the quality of conversation and connection between people. Your phone doesn't need to ring. Just knowing it could create a subtle attention drain. Design your environment to support presence. Put your phone in another room during meals. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Use app timers if needed. The goal isn't punishment. It's creating space for your nervous system to downregulate from constant vigilance. Consider implementing what some researchers call attention reset periods. These are brief windows, maybe 15 to 20 minutes several times a day, where you're completely unreachable. No phone, no email, no interruptions. Use this time to do something that genuinely absorbs you. Read, walk, sketch. The activity matters less than the uninterrupted quality. Fourth, practice what psychologist Kristin Neff calls self-compassion breaks. When you notice you're stressed, rushing, or overwhelmed, pause. Place a hand on your chest. Acknowledge that this is difficult. Say to yourself, this is a moment of struggle. Struggle is part of life. May I be kind to myself in this moment? This might sound simplistic, but Neff's research shows that self-compassion is strongly associated with psychological resilience. When we're harsh with ourselves about being stressed, we add a second layer of suffering. We're stressed about being stressed. Self-compassion interrupts this cycle. Fifth, develop what meditation teacher Jon Kabat-Zinn calls informal mindfulness practice. This means bringing mindful awareness to ordinary activities. When you're washing dishes, actually wash dishes. Feel the temperature of the water. Notice the texture of the sponge. When you're walking, feel your feet making contact with the ground. Notice the movement of air against your skin. You don't need to add meditation to your schedule. You're already doing activities throughout the day. The practice is simply bringing your full attention to what's already happening. This trains your brain to stay present even during routine tasks. Research by psychologist Matt Killingsworth at Harvard found that people spend almost 47% of their waking hours thinking about something other than what they're doing. And crucially, this mind wandering was strongly correlated with unhappiness. Not because the wandering thoughts were negative, but because the act of not being present, regardless of what we're thinking about, is associated with lower well-being. Finally, understand the power of what researchers call attention restoration. Psychologist Rachel Kaplan's attention restoration theory suggests that certain environments naturally replenish our depleted attention. Natural settings in particular, places with trees, water, or expansive views, allow our directed attention systems to rest, while our involuntary attention gently engages. You don't need a wilderness retreat. Even a plan on your desk, a view of sky, or a brief walk outside can provide measurable attention restoration. The key is regular, brief exposures throughout your day, rather than hoping a 2-week vacation will fix everything. Here's what this all comes down to. Calm and mindfulness in a fast-paced world aren't about slowing down the world. They're about changing your relationship with speed. You can't control the pace of modern life, but you can absolutely control where you place your attention and how you engage with that pace. Every moment of presence you cultivate is an act of reclaiming your experience. This isn't easy. Your brain will resist. The world will resist. Every notification is designed to pull you away. Every cultural message suggests that busy equals important, that presence equals productivity lost. But consider this. What if the most radical, countercultural thing you could do is simply be where you are, fully present, fully engaged, not somewhere else in your mind. Start with one practice from what we've discussed, just one. Maybe it's 3 conscious breaths between tasks. Maybe it's 1 fully attentive activity per day. Maybe it's a phone-free dinner. Start there. Notice what changes. And here's the question I want to leave you with. What would become possible in your life if you reclaimed even 10% more of your attention? What would you notice? What would deepen? What relationships would strengthen? The path to calm isn't about doing more. It's about being more present with what you're already doing. And that shift, small as it might seem, changes everything. You've got this. And you don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to begin.